5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is About Space, America's return to space, with news and information on our U.S. space program.
From our About Space Today World Headquarters, I'm John Gomes. This week in space, Verizon's $100 million direct-to-smartphone satellite investment, ESA's EarthCare satellite launches, and China lands on the far side of the moon. This and more next, as America and the world is listening to About Space Today.
D&D Cruise and Tours is the official agent for About Space, and we invite you to come fly away to all-inclusive resort island destinations, or a cruise vacation from Port Canaveral, and even visit the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, or just come and see the parks. Call for a discount cruise or an island getaway or the Florida beaches. Call today. The call is free, and so are our services. Call 877-747-8631. That's 877-747-8631. We are Florida's group travel specialists.
Welcome back. Verizon Wireless plans to invest $100 million in AST Space Mobile for direct-to-smartphone satellite service. This comes on the heels of rival AT&T's investment in the same company. In a press release dated May 29th, AST Space Mobile announced the partnership and what it means for their company. Abel Avalon, founder, chairman, and CEO of AST Space Mobile, said, "This new partnership with Verizon will enable AST Space Mobile to target 100% coverage of the continental United States on premium 850 MHz spectrum with two major U.S. mobile operators in the most valuable wireless market in the world, a transformational commercial milestone, and will enhance cellular connectivity in the United States, especially eliminating dead zones and empowering remote areas of the country with space-based connectivity." AST Space Mobile plans to unveil its go-to-market strategies near commercial launch, including the benefit of pooling nearby terrestrial radio waves from AT&T and Verizon. As of now, AST Space Mobile has agreements with more than 45 network operators globally, who collectively serve over 2.8 billion existing subscribers. The company produces its state-of-the-art satellite technology in Midland, Texas. The venture's Block 1 satellites are slated to be delivered to Cape Canaveral by the end of August for a SpaceX Falcon 9 launch to low Earth orbit. According to AST Space Mobile, between 45 and 60 Block 2 Bluebirds are needed for continuous coverage in the United States. Stay tuned to About Space Today for more news on this story as it happens.
3, 2,
That was the call of liftoff on May 28th as the European Space Agency and Japanese Space Agency's joint venture EarthCare satellite successfully launched from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. The 2-ton spacecraft will have an anticipated mission lifespan of about 3 years, which includes a 6-month commissioning period. The mission's goals are similar to NASA's PACE spacecraft, which launched earlier this year. Both satellites are designed to increase the understanding around cloud formation and the role of the atmosphere in the overall climate. Finally this week, China's Chang'e 6 spacecraft has landed on the far side of the moon. The spacecraft successfully landed around 6:23 p.m. Eastern Time on June 1st and will soon begin its mission of collecting unique lunar samples. The lander targeted a southern portion of Apollo crater within the South Pole Aitken or SPA basin on the lunar far side. Samples could contain material ejected from the lunar mantle. These would provide insights not only into the depths of the moon, its composition and its evolution, but also for the Earth and the wider history of the early solar system. A small rover is also expected to be deployed onto the surface for short-term operations. Following sampling, an ascent vehicle will be expected to launch itself and the samples from atop the Chang'e 6's lander. The launcher is expected within 48 hours of landing, taking the samples into lunar orbit. The ascender will need to rendezvous and dock with the waiting Chang'e 6 orbiter. Chang'e 6 is China's fourth successful lunar landing from 4 attempts and the second on the far side of the moon. It is also the third lunar landing in 2024. It follows Japan's SLIM in January and Intuitive Machines' IM-1 Odysseus lander in February. The country will follow up with 2 missions to the south pole of the moon. These are the Chang'e 7 in 2026 and Chang'e 8 around 2028. The country aims to launch its first crewed lunar mission by 2030. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, aboutspace.today, for launches and landings, and invite your family and friends to listen weekly. You can find us on your favorite podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify, Libsyn, and more. Be sure to join David Denault twice a month for Special Report and Don Meyer every Friday for America in Space. Whether you're listening on the International Space Station or just on your phone, thanks for joining me. I'm John Gomes, and you just learned a little about space today.